When did OpenAI, when did you first start this project?
Are like the very beginning, end of 2015, early 2016.
And when you initially started this project, what kind of timeline did you have in mind, and has it stayed on that timeline, or is it just wildly out of control?
I remember talking with John Schulman, one of our co-founders, early on, and he was like, "Yeah, I think it's gonna be about a 15-year project," and I was like, "Yeah, sounds about right to me." And I've always sort of thought since then. Now, I no longer think of like AGI as quite the end point, but to get to the point where we like accomplish the thing we set out to accomplish, that would take us to like 2030, 2031. That has felt to me like all the way through kind of a reasonable estimate with huge error bars. And I kind of think we're on the trajectory I sort of would have assumed.
And what did you think the impact on society would be? Like, did you, when you first started doing this, and you said, okay, if we are successful and we do create some massively advanced AGI, what is the implementation, and what is the impact on society? Did you sit there and have like a graph, like you had the pros on one side, the cons on the other? Did you just sort of abstractly consider?
Well, we definitely talked a lot about the cons.
Mhm.
Many of us were super worried about, and still are, about safety and alignment. And if we build these systems, we can all see the great future. That's easy to imagine. But if something goes horribly wrong, it's like really horribly wrong. And so there was a lot of discussion about, and really a big part of the founding spirit of this is like, how are we going to solve this safety problem? What does that even mean? One of the things that we believe is that the greatest minds in the world cannot sit there and solve that in a vacuum. You've got to like have contact with reality. You've got to see where the technology goes. Practice plays out in a stranger way than theory. And that's certainly proven true for us. But we had a long list of, well, I don't know if we had a long list of cons. We had a very intense list of cons because, there's like all of the last decades of sci-fi telling you about how this goes wrong. And why you're
Yeah,
supposed to shoot me right now.
yeah.
And
I'm sure you've seen the John Connor Chat
I
GPT
haven't. What is
memes.
it?
It's like, John Connor from the Terminator, the kid, looking at
Oh,
you when you open up Chat GPT.
yeah. So that stuff we were like very clear in our minds on. Now, I think we understand there's a lot of work to do, but we understand more about how to make AI safe in the AI safety gets overloaded. Like, does it mean don't say something people find offensive, or does it mean don't destroy all of humanity, or some continuum? And I think the word is like gotten overloaded. But in terms of the like not destroy all of humanity version of it, we have a lot of work to do. But I think we have finally more ideas about what can work, and given the way the systems are going, we have a lot more opportunities available to us to solve it than I thought we would have, given the direction that we initially thought the technology was going to go. So that's good. On the positive side, the thing that I was most excited about then and remain most excited about now is, what if this system can dramatically increase the rate of scientific knowledge in society? That is I think that kind of like all real sustainable economic growth, the future getting better, progress in some sense, comes from increased scientific and technological capacity, so we can solve all of the problems. And if the AI can help us do that, that's always been the thing I've been most excited about.
Well, it certainly seems like that is the greatest potential, greatest positive potential of AI. Is to solve a lot of the problems that human beings have had forever, a lot of the societal problems that seem to be, I mean, that's what I was talking about, an AI president. I'm kind of not joking, because I feel like if something
Yeah,
was hyper intelligent and aware of all the variables with no human bias and no incentives, no
yeah,
other than here's your program, the greater good for the community of the United States and the greater good for that community as it interacts with the rest of the world. The elimination of these dictators, whether they're elected or non-elected, who impose their will on the
yeah.
population because they have a vested interest in protecting special interest groups and industry.
I think as long as the thing that I find scary when you say that is it feels like it's humanity not in control. and
Right.
I reflexively don't like that. But if it's instead like it is the collective will of humanity being expressed without the mistranslation and corrupting influences along the way, then
Yes.
I can see it.
Is that possible? It seems like it would be. It seems like if it was programmed in that regard to do the greater good for humanity and take into account the values of humanity, the needs of humanity.
There's something about the phrase "do the greater good for
I know,
humanity"
it's
that sets
terrifying.
me
It's
off.
very Orwellian. All of it
Yeah,
is. But also, so is artificial general intelligence.
for sure, for sure.
Open the door.
I
Hal.
wish I had worked on something that was less morally fraught.
But do you? Because it's
No,
really
no.
exciting.
I mean, I cannot imagine a cooler thing to work on. I feel unbelievably. I feel like the luckiest person on earth.
That's
but
awesome.
It is not. It's not on easy mode. Let's say that.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
not life on easy mode.
No. I mean, you are at the forefront of one of the most spectacular changes in human history. And I would say I would say more spectacular than the implementation of the internet. I think the implementation of the internet was the first baby steps of this, and that artificial general intelligence is
Yeah.
it is the internet on steroids. It's the internet in hyperspace.
What I would say is it's the next step, and there will be more steps after. But it's
Yes.
our most exciting step yet.
Yeah. My wonder is what are those next steps after?
Isn't that so exciting to think about?
It's very exciting.